you from Ziglar headquarters in Dallas, Texas. Boy, am I excited. You know what? We just hit a huge milestone. We just hit 5 million Facebook fans. So we're real excited. You may have seen some of that going on our Facebook fan page. And I just wanted to say I thank you. I appreciate you, each and every one of you, because without you, we wouldn't have fans. And so the reason I think so many people love the Ziglar Facebook page is because people need hope and encouragement now more than ever. And I'm real excited because we've got a special guest on here today. We've got Kevin Davis. Say hello, Kevin.
Hello, everyone out there. Great to be with you today on Facebook Live and join Tom for this great day to kind of chat back and forth a little bit.
You got it. Now, Kevin is one of our Ziglar Legacy certified speakers. And in fact, he's got amazing business. He travels around the country doing corporate events and things like that as a speaker and maybe even I'll call you an instigator. I'm not sure what I'm going to call you, Kevin. But what we wanted to do today is to share something that's coming up. But before we do, I mean, so many people who are Ziglar fans, you've got a Ziglar story. I mean, you've read a book, you heard Zig Ziglar speak. Maybe you're new to the Facebook page and you just love the quotes and the inspiration. So, Kevin, why don't you just share kind of how you first connected with Ziglar and maybe some of the impact the message and the philosophy made in your life?
Oh, absolutely, Tom. Thanks for that. Zig Ziglar, I think back to when I would say I was just a boy. I still feel I'm pretty young, but around 18, 19 years old, I had that entrepreneur spirit, that entrepreneur drive inside of me that I really wanted to build a business or do something. But I really didn't have that desire to go to college. So I started right out of school and just trying to do some business. So granted, at that age, we all think we're the smartest person that we know. And if someone were to ask us, we would probably tell them. But I found out really quick that I needed to find some people smarter than I was to kind of invest in me. And probably I come across a book that Zig had written, and that book really spoke to me. But I ordered a set of tapes. That was back in the day when we had the cassette tapes. And I was driving up and down the road a lot, going from job to job and different things. And I would listen to those cassette tapes of your dad as he would share these stories. And it was such a great inspiration to me because, he would tell the stories about how that we can have anything that we want in life if we just help enough other people get it, that we have so much great potential inside of us. He really caused me to believe in myself because a lot of times, especially at that age, especially trying to do things, a lot of people are trying to tell you why you can't, that you're too young or you're don't have the right education, you're not smart enough. And I could listen to Zig and he could just say it in a way that I could understand. And he was just such a great inspiration through listening to those stories about, telling me that I was born to win. But in order to win and to be a winner, I had to plan to win and I had to prepare to win, but also had to expect to win. So really, I look back to him as in the very beginning as one of the great inspirations as he was my mentor through cassette tapes, driving up and down US 23 and I-64 in Eastern Kentucky. Zig spoke to me a lot, and I spoke back to him a lot in those vehicles. He never heard me, but I was going right back at it with him.
All right, that's awesome. So, hey guys, we appreciate you joining on the Ziglar fan page. If you love Ziglar and you're getting a lot of benefit out of this message, we'd love it if you shared and this with your friends. Let them know. There's something else that's kind of cool. If you leave any kind of comment below in the comments section, then you're going to get a message from us. And that message is going to be, you're going to be entered to win a free ticket because Kevin is hosting a live one-day business summit in Prestonsburg, Kentucky, kind of in your neighborhood, your neck of the woods. And we're going to be doing a drawing and giving one of those away. So who knows, you might win that. And so, Kevin, what are we going to be? You're going to be talking about, we call it the Raise the Lid Summit. What does that mean? What does it mean to raise the lid?
Tommy, goes back to my days in the vehicle listening to those cassette tapes when your dad told the story about the flea trainer. As he would share that story about how you can train fleas, that you could put fleas in a jar, you could put those fleas and put a lid on it. Those fleas would become accustomed to the lid. You could remove that lid. They would never jump any higher than that lid. And that it's up to us, once we've been accustomed to those limits that we've either placed on ourselves or we've allowed others to place on us, that we've got to retrain that. We've got to train ourselves to realize that the potential is inside of us. So that is kind of how I've built my whole business. That's how I've done everything that I've done, is just raising the lid, just realizing the potential that is inside of me, realizing that, I was created with a purpose, that I was created and designed for accomplishment, that certainly been endowed with the seeds of greatness, and believing that. So the Raise the Lid Summit is just to encourage people to raise that lid in their life, whatever it may be. So we're calling this the Raise the Lid Leadership Summit. This summit is going to be for anyone who is in a leadership capacity already, maybe someone who just wants to be in that leadership capacity. And a lot of times when we talk about leadership, we feel, people think you already have to have a position or you have to have a title. But in all reality, we've talked about this before, Tom, leadership is just influence, and every one of us has the opportunity to influence someone else. This Raise the Lid Summit is going to be a great opportunity for anyone who wants to develop themselves and become more of who they've been created to be.
Ooh, I love that. And we're getting a lot of messages on the side. Hey, Wade, how are you doing, brother? Glad that you're joining us today. Allison Bragg says, I'm in the UK. Are you going to be here sometime? I'm actually looking at doing a Choose to Win event in probably Dublin in the first part of August, maybe the last few days of July, the first part of August. So, yeah, we're taking this event everywhere. So the event that we're talking about today is in Prestonsburg, Kentucky, and it's part of the Choose to Win tour. And one of the things that happened this year for me in March, came out with the book Choose to Win. Ta-da! And just been blessed to come out with some information that you can apply right away. At the event with Kevin, one of the things I'm going to be talking about is the choices that you have in your life. And I always think back of this, Kevin. I think back of, when we wrote the book Born to Win. You mentioned the quote Born to Win a minute ago. In that book, we talk about two brothers, and one brother was in prison. And he was there for like a 30-year sentence. And the other brother, and they're twin brothers, by the way, and the other brother was an icon in the community, well-respected. He gave millions to charities. He owned a bunch of businesses. And a reporter asked both of them the same question. They said to the brother in prison, why are you in prison? And he said, oh, that's real easy. My dad was an abusive alcoholic. He beat us, and he was horrible to us. Where else could I be but in prison? And then they asked his twin brother, who was the multimillionaire philanthropist, and they said, what do you attribute to your success? How did this happen? And he said, oh, it's all because of my father. He beat us and he was horrible to us, so I spent my whole life trying to be the opposite. And so the point is that all of us have a story, all of us. And, Kevin, you started in the very beginning. You said, I didn't think college was, my ticket. And people were saying, hey, you're too young, you can't do this. Would you tell everybody some of the choices that you made early in your life that really set you on the right track? Maybe 2 or 3 choices that anybody could learn from that you did.
Yeah, well, Tom, the very first thing that I realized is that I had to invest in myself. Before I could ever do anything to grow or to help anyone else, I had to first to develop myself. And actually, one of the sessions in our Raise the Lid leadership summit that we're going to be doing is building the best you. That the very first investment that we have to be willing to make is what we put in ourselves. I've done a midweek motivation, I think a week or so ago, on input equals output, that what we put into our mind, the garbage in, garbage out philosophy, that I've learned a long time ago, that you have to be putting these things into your mind to better yourself. You need to be, reading. What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching? Because those things that you allow into your mind begins to produce the output. So, one of the first choices that I had to make was first I had to believe in myself. Once I believed in myself, I had to be willing to invest in myself. And then once you start investing in yourself, you have to be willing to put forth the effort. I think Zig called it maybe consistent persistency or persistent consistency. So believe in yourself, invest in yourself, and then continue to put forth that effort, day in and day out.
Man, I love that. One of my favorite quotes, and I don't know who said this, so maybe one of our fans will know who said this. This quote is you cannot determine your future, but you can determine your habits, and your habits will determine your future. And for me, the number one lesson that I learned from Zig Ziglar, my father, was the habit of choosing the right input, right? Because when we choose that right input, our input determines our output, right? What we bring in, what we think about, that determines who we are, our outlook, what we do, the behavior that we have. So the actions and the behavior that we have is what gets the results. Now, Kevin, tell us a little bit more. By the way, everybody, if you haven't left a comment, hey, Anna from the Ukraine, awesome. Hey, Donna, we appreciate that. Eddie Lee, we appreciate that. Said, your quotes have helped me come out of addictions and depression. That's right. When we change our mind, when we change our thinking, it changes our state, and it allows us to overcome so many different obstacles. So, Kevin, what as a leader, okay, let's just say there's I call it positional leadership. No matter what position that we're in, we can lead. Okay, so we can be the CEO, we can be the boss, we can be the owner, we can be the supervisor, we can be the manager. But you know what else? We can lead right from the seat that we're in. So we could be working in a school, we could be on a team, we could be a support staff member or a sales professional, and we can always lead. So Kevin, we're going to be talking a lot about leadership at this event. And by the way, when you leave a comment below, you have a chance to respond. And when you respond to that, you're going to go into a drawing for a ticket to the event in Prestonsburg that's coming up. So, Kevin, what are one or two leadership keys that you found? And by the way, could you tell us just a little bit about your core business? I know that you do a lot in a certain industry. Would you mind sharing just a little bit about that and maybe how many people you have on your team now?
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. My core business, I got started when I was looking to do something, is in the automotive quick lube industry. We operate some quick lube centers, in 4 states right now: Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, and Virginia. But from doing that, as we would go to industry events and different events that would happen that would be related to that, people would see some of our successes and they would just ask us, would we share that? Kevin, would you share with us how you done this? Or would you share with us? And the next thing you know, at their annual conventions and at their leadership training events, I'd become one of their speakers. I'm now one of their trainers for their 2-day management certification course that we teach across the country. So all those things come, and it goes back to the philosophy of if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. So many people help me through life as investing in me. And as we talked about earlier, another big key thing is, Tom, it matters who we surround ourselves with. We have to surround ourselves with people. I've always had 3 categories of people in my life. I've always had somebody that was investing in me, someone that I'm investing in, and someone who is walking alongside with me. And so when we have that opportunity, it goes back to somebody's always pouring into us and we're growing. But when we start pouring out what's in us, it helps others to grow. That continues us growing. And that's kind of what happened in the oil change industry. I just started sharing what had been successful for me with other people and sharing my successes, helping them become successful. And it just continued to open up opportunities for me to speak and share more. And it's become a great opportunity for me just to help other people become successful.
Yep, a couple of shout outs here. Jason from Arizona. Hey, how are you doing? Chris from West Virginia. All right, you're in the neighborhood. You need to come over to Prestonsburg, Kentucky, man. It's going to be a good event. We're sending you, Chris, we're sending you the link where you can find out more about that event, maybe win a free seat there. Bubby from East Kentucky, all right. Sherry from Indiana, love it. Sud here from Bangladesh. That's going to be a long trip, probably just about as long as Kikeen from Kuala Lumpur. But I wanted just to read this. Piper Standard said this: I was taught by a teacher in school who used the book See You at the Top for his class. It shaped me into the person I am today and is really the only class I ever really loved. Forever grateful. How awesome is that? And so here's the lesson. I'm gonna sum up what you just said, Kevin, and I'm gonna give you the last couple of minutes here as we're wrapping this live up. You said that first you made the decision to believe in yourself and you started choosing the right input, the right information to shape yourself. Well, that helped grow your dream of building a business. And so I can only imagine that you didn't start off with multiple locations and dozens of employees. You probably started off with one location on the team, and then you grew, and then you said, you know what, I can do this on my own. And the next thing you know, you've got multiple locations. So first you developed yourself, and then you developed the people right around you. And then you got noticed by corporate and by the US group, and they said, hey, can you come and do some of that for us? Does that pretty much sum up kind of your journey?
Absolutely, Tom. That's exactly that's it to a T. It's just investing in myself, developing those around me, and then getting the opportunity just to expand those territories and share with more people.
That's right. And really, that is the message of Ziglar is, you know what? Success is an inside job. When we get the inside right, then we have the opportunity to impact everyone around us. So it starts on the inside. And so before I turn it back to you, Kevin, with the last word, here's what I want you to think about. No matter where you are, you could be in a position where, you're just getting started or you're starting afresh and you've got to develop yourself. Or you might be in a position of leadership where you can influence and impact those around you and you're starting to make a difference. Or you could be kind of at that top tier, either as an owner or as an executive, and you already have a lot of people that you're impacting. I kind of believe that the Prestonsburg event is going to be perfect for all of those, right? Doesn't matter whether you're just getting started, you're kind of, you've got a little bit under it, but you got some growth, or you're at the top. So Kevin, what do you want to close with? What do you want to send our Ziglar audience off with today as we close up this live?
Tom, I think I'll probably want to close with a quote that I feel sums up my life. I feel like life is a journey of aligning your dreams, charting your course, and navigating your way to a purpose-filled life. And it goes back to aligning with what is your passion, what is your purpose, what is your calling, what is it that really gets you excited, what is it that really motivates you, what is it that just really, some people tell me before, what is your passion is truly what you would do if you didn't even get paid for it. So once you start aligning with those dreams, then you start charting your course. So aligning is kind of that inspiration. What is inspired inside of you, fanning that flame? Once you find what that is, then you must start charting that course, which is the equipping side of it. That's when you start investing in yourself and developing the skill set that you need to accomplish that. Then when we get to navigating the course, navigating to me is the motivational factor of it, because rest assured, as soon as you believe in yourself, as soon as you equip yourself, the obstacles are going to come. And you and I both know that we learn more from failing. Our failures are some of the biggest learning lessons that we ever get. But a lot of times people give up when they start seeing those obstacles, and we need that motivation behind us, and that would be navigating through those obstacles, finding out what do we learn from those lessons. But when we align our dreams, chart our course, and navigate our way, then we find out what that true purpose-filled life is. And I believe the Raise the Lid Summit is going to help people align and find those dreams. It's going to inspire them, it will equip them, and it'll motivate them to live the life that they really want to live.
Awesome. Now, the Raise the Lid Summit, any comment below that you guys have made? Tammy just put in, I went to a Zig Ziglar event in the 90s. It was wonderful. So, Tammy, everybody who's made a comment, you're going to get a quick link in the messenger, and it's going to tell you more about the Raise the Lid Summit. You can reply to that with the chance to win a free ticket. So how cool is that? One of the things that I'm grateful for, Kevin, we're going to have all day. We're going to be there starting early, finishing late afternoon. I'll be speaking. Kevin will be speaking. It's in a beautiful facility. The reason you want to find out more is because if this message appeals to you, that you believe that you have a choice, and what you choose is going to determine your future. How you're going to act on that's going to determine your future. Then you're going to want to be around a bunch of other like-minded leaders who think the same way, who believe the same way. 2020, I use this a lot, Kevin. I say 2020 is the year of vision. Create a vision to raise the lid. Do something you've never done before. Create an opportunity to create the life that you've always wanted. You can do that by joining us. Kevin, thank you so much. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. No matter where you guys are, there's Gail from Crossville, Tennessee. That's probably not too far from Prestonsburg, Kentucky. You need to come join us. So, Kevin, I appreciate you. You're a good friend, and you represent the Ziglar legacy with class and style. We can count on you. I can't wait till we got a full day with everybody in the room. Appreciate your support on this. We're going to have fun. And to all of our Facebook fans, 5 million plus strong, a big thumbs up from Ziglar. You guys are awesome. Let your friends know about this and go out and make a difference in somebody's life today. And I'll close with the most famous of all Ziglar quotes. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you again next time.
All right. Thanks, Tom.